Well, the kids are asleep, so now it is time to summon the last of our energy for Ask My Wife Anything, but hopefully not the things I don't want her to share. Secrets? So many. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for being on the podcast. I know we both had a long day with the kids, you longer than me.
I want to die.
No, it's rewarding, enjoyable. Kind of like a marathon is rewarding and enjoyable. All right, so today we have some questions submitted to us by our patrons at trenthornpodcast.com. If you want to submit questions for future Ask Me Anything, Ask Laura Anything episodes, then be sure to become a subscriber at Trenthorn Podcast to be able to do that. So we have some fun questions here. Shall we get started?
We shall. Please read them to me because I can't see through the ungodly amount of makeup that I'm wearing.
No, this is how you naturally look every single
yes,
day.
Of course.
By the way, I'm glad that you're wearing my Bayside High Saved by the Bell shirt, by the way.
In hopes that I'll maybe look like Kelly, except for I look like nothing like Kelly.
Do you want to be Kelly or do you want to be Jessie?
Who wants to be Jessie? Everyone wanted to be Kelly.
That's true. I'm so excited. So scared, Zach. All right. So here's the first question that our patrons have submitted.
Okay.
How and which of your views differ from Trent's? The importance. Do you disagree with me on certain important things?
Yes, I do. I'd say first thing that comes to mind is probably like safety issues with children. Like I grew up differently than Trent did probably as far as like what we were allowed to do. So like kids riding around the block by themselves, things like that I would be okay with. And Trent is like not there yet, I'd say. So.
And I'm really surprised by that because you grew up in New Mexico, which is just basically
it's like meth central.
Yes, I'm surprised someone didn't kidnap you. And you grew up in southern New Mexico. They just didn't take you and sell you across the border for chicle.
Hey, that's my joke. Anyway, but yeah, no, but Las Cruces wasn't as dangerous as Albuquerque. Albuquerque is like a whole new level of crime, but Las Cruces was okay growing up. But I will say, actually, there were so many fights one day in my high school. They shut down the high school. So maybe it actually wasn't that safe. But my parents definitely had like the attitude of like, typical. They're great parents, but like, go ride your bike. And like, I'd be out for hours, no
like
cell phones.
Stranger Things, you rode your bike and then ended up at a government research facility and part of a Netflix miniseries. Well, we disagree about St. Joseph. Ooh,
oh, we do disagree about St. Joseph. Yeah.
We
I don't think he was married before. I think he was
so there's two views about Joseph, right? So was he young Joseph who was betrothed to Mary and the brothers and sisters of the Lord are Jesus' cousins? Or is he old? Because if you look in art, there's young Joseph and then there's old Joseph.
Yeah, but old Joseph could just be depicted because, it shows his wisdom.
Right. So, or is it old Joseph because he's actually was married before and had children and his wife died and then he was betrothed to Mary. So the brothers of the Lord are Jesus's stepbrothers.
Yeah. I understand like the merit of that argument as far as like apologetics goes, but I don't think it's fitting for St. Joseph to have been married. Not that you can be chaste and married. Of course you can. It's a holy vocation. But I just don't think it's like I can't picture St. Joseph like living the life that we're living now and then wedding the Blessed Virgin Mary, if that makes sense. I think it would be more fitting for him to have lived like a holy, quiet lifestyle and then wed the Blessed Virgin Mary. But I will say, however, if he was married before, he'd like have so much patience by the time that he raised Jesus that maybe that's an argument to be made.
Maybe you and I will debate. We'll debate it on pints. We'll see if Frad will have us on to debate it on pints. Maybe. Here's number 2. Have you ever won an argument against Trent before where you beat him with logic and not just the stare?
Yeah.
Do women all know about the stare?
Right. What is the stare? Is it like...
Yeah, I think that would be the glare.
Yeah.
Not a stare.
I don't know. I give you the death stare a lot of times and you like just call it out. You're so melancholic about it. You're like, why are you looking at me like that? And I'm like, you're not supposed to say anything.
Even in front of company. Are you mad at me? Are we having a fight right now?
Now we are.
You do. We'll talk about things and then you'll get me to see it from another perspective because we both did Justice for All. So we both did Justice for All. We learned using Socratic pro-life on college campuses. So that's one of the first things I thought was super cute about you because you told your little story. You're like, I talked to this professor and he said, you can't just ask me a bunch of questions. And I said, why? I'm sorry if I'm impersonating you like you're 14. Well, you were 17. So, I mean.
Yeah, how dare you?
Right, how dare you impersonate me like I'm 14? I was 17 years old. Anyways.
But yeah, no, we argue a lot. So yeah, we have very strong personalities, I'd say. I'm a sanguine, so I'm like quick to flare, and Trent's melancholic, so everything matters to him. And so, yeah, we argue quite a bit.
I'm not quick to flare. I'm like a simmering pressure cooker.
Oh, yeah, right? And then I'm like, I've gone too far.
Right.
I take it back.
Number 3, I would love to hear Laura's take on motherhood and how she handles the pressures of secular society, telling women they have a successful career, be away from family in order to be fulfilled. Oh, okay.
Oh, is that better?
I was trying to get the lights there. Now the lights look good.
Does it cover my chin zit?
No. Would you like me to edit that out?
No, leave it in. People need to see.
Okay. See, this is what I loved about you. You're so real and authentic. Authentically beautiful and real. Not one of these fake people. So you have so much confidence.
Like Kelly. Who would want to be Kelly?
Kelly who? Is it bad that I kind of like those Saved by the Bell, who the girl Leia Remini played when they go to the resort for the summer.
Yeah, and then you never see her again.
Right.
Did you ever try watching Saved by the Bell as an adult? It's objectively awful.
Which is worse as an adult to watch, Saved by the Bell or Full House?
Oh, that's a hard one. I would say Full House, only because Saved by the Bell has Zach Morris, and so it's still easy to watch.
Now, if I said something like that about Kelly, I'd be in the doghouse for a week. But fine, we'll just binge Saved by the Bell. Then after that, we'll watch Boy Meets World.
I'll wake up for my days. What day is it? Anyway, let's see.
Oh, your take on motherhood. How do you handle the pressures of society saying you're not fulfilled unless you're out working 9 to 5?
Yeah, I would say I had to live that, and I did fall into that. So I worked when I wanted to go back to work, and Trent and I would have discussions / arguments about that. And then I did work full time as a neurotelemetry nurse, and it was really hard on our marriage. And so I kind of had to live that to realize that it was not for me. I think in general there should be, one stable parent figure at home if,
I agree.
Possible. So, and in general,
it's not like saying oh, you're a bad person if you don't, but I think it's an ideal people should shoot for.
Right. Exactly. So, and I just don't handle stress as well as, other working women can. But I think in general, honestly, women, I think it is probably good for the family, if possible, to have the mother at home. So obviously there are situations where, that's not possible, or, they've discerned different things for their vocation. But anyway, so I had to live it. And it was, I'd say, very a dark period in our marriage. And
yeah, we were so divided. We're like ships passing in the night. And I think a lot of times when it's this pressure, women have to work, I think a lot of times they work and 95% of their paycheck goes to pay for childcare. So it's like, why?
Luckily, though, we were in the position where we switched off.
We did.
So with nursing, you have 12-hour shifts, so that was a lot easier.
Yeah, so you would do 3 12s, I would do 3 12s, and then I would want to die.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, if you look at pictures of Trent during that time, he's just so tired. And yeah, in the middle of the night, one night, I threw a binky at his head, and then he's like, you should probably quit your job. And I was like, you're right. This is a low point for me.
There you go. Super Nintendo with husband and children.
No, I'm pretty objectively awful, actually. The other day I was playing, and I think Trent actually thought that Matthew was playing, Donkey Kong. And the kids are always like, yeah! And then I'll die, and they're like, oh.
You're getting better.
I know, I am getting better. So, yeah,
but
Super Mario World is my favorite.
That is a good game.
Yeah. Here's the problem. I was the youngest, so we didn't have a video console growing up, or a Nintendo console growing up. So we would go to Blockbuster and rent it as a special treat. My parents would let us, but I'm the youngest, so I would never get a turn. And so I would just watch my sisters. And I remember going to bed sometimes, seeing Rainbow Road, and I couldn't get it out of my head.
From Mario Kart.
Yes, from Mario Kart. Yeah. And from sometimes we would rent Nintendo 64s. But yeah, I didn't get a turn as often. So
I was the oldest.
I watched a lot.
I was raised by my Super Nintendo from 3rd to 5th grade. So. Laura, what are the top qualities a guy must have to be marryable? I think he means marriageable. He's got to know that marryable is not a word.
How do you know it's man?
I think it was a guy who asked, but I don't know. It could be a woman, but I think it was a guy. What are the top qualities? What does a guy need to be marryable? How How does a guy land somebody like you?
Oh, nice.
Was mine just pure luck?
Get them when they're 17, my friend. Just kidding. Take it out.
I didn't ask you out till you were 19. I was good and responsible. The other way is I would recommend if they have recently been in a coma and so they're cognitively deficient, they may not recognize all your flaws. That helped with us too. So, what do they need to have for a girl to marry him?
I'd say, let's see. I should probably have thought about this question more. Edit this long pause out. But anyway, a good Catholic would be primary. Second, someone who is like responsible and a hard worker and self-driven. And I don't know, someone who is always willing to grow in their vocation with you. Because I think if Trent and I both look back, I don't think we would like want to be married to the person we were married to during the first year of marriage again. So I think you just grow and adjust so much with the person that you're married to that is like the ultimate quality to aim for. That, by the end you look back and you're like, the two became one. Like we are truly one in this journey, and like your wills coincide with one another. And I don't know. So you grow together.
You grow together. I think also, honestly, just get a decent job and be willing to get married.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait, I don't have to do this. You have your own mic. No, I think the one thing that make a guy attractive is that a woman sees he wants to get married because he's genuinely fulfilled as a single adult person and wants to share that with someone else. Because I think the problem is there are guys who have, got their act together, but then they can't get around to getting married.
But I know there are other guys.
There are other guys who are like, I just want to get married as a way to fulfill their own emotional neediness. So like somebody who's like, I want to get married, not because I'm codependent, but because I want to share my life with somebody else. Like just having that attitude, that would be a big step.
But I do think sometimes people are just overly picky. Like I know a lot of people who, they just don't necessarily have a set career and they still have really great, fulfilling marriages, So, and they make it work and they have children.
That's
and,
true. You married me when I was living on one frozen burrito a day.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to get engaged actually when he only made like $600 a month. And I'm like, I don't see the issue here.
Well, yeah, you're like, Trent, what is the big deal? I eat one yogurt packet a day. You eat one burrito a day. What more would we need? We can live on love. It's a low-calorie diet. How do you deal with Trent being out of town a lot? I found it hard to take care of kids by myself for long periods of time. It gets lonely.
It's true. It does get lonely. That's why you need Netflix, my friend. I'm just kidding.
You're not supposed to watch Netflix.
I know. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Disney Plus. Oh, we can't watch Disney Plus either.
Oh, no. They're all homosexual.
The EWTN streaming with
That's true. I know. All my holy friends.
With the friar and the lamb.
I know. They're all like, do you watch Mr. Cello? And I'm like, I'm just kidding.
No, but how do you... Yeah, well, I've dialed back on speaking because it's hard. And I think
you have dialed back.
I think it's hard at home.
Yeah, I see that now kind of as my job, and that's been nice, like to see it as that, like when he travels, that it's my job to take care of the kids at home. I found that the hardest time was actually when the kids were little. Like now that they're still little, but I mean like now that they're growing into like school ages and they have a little bit more activities and it's easier to leave the house, it's gotten a lot easier. So, but I will tell you, when Matthew was like 2 and Thomas was a newborn and you would travel, it was really difficult because it's just like you have no one to talk to. And I have a lot of audiobooks, which are really nice. And I put my kids to bed really early when Trent is out of town. I put my kids to bed seriously by 7 when Trent is out of town. And that's been pretty helpful. And they just listen to audiobooks in their rooms.
That's good. And when I travel, well, yeah, especially now with travel, I try to keep it to like one night away.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's hard when it stretches into multiple nights. I think that's when it's...
Yeah, I'd say actually a lot of the harder transition now is actually when Trent returns. And I mean, we're so happy to have him back. Don't get me wrong.
Great.
It's great. Just kidding. Yeah. No, but you have to have I have to have realistic expectations that when he comes back, he's going to be tired and I'm tired. So he expects a reprieve coming back home. Like when I get home, I'm going to be able to rest. And I'm like, I'm going to be able to rest when Trent gets home. Yeah. And that's not true for either of us. And I
think it's hard. Sometimes wives think like, oh, did you enjoy your vacation? Well, now you're back. You got to have your fancy trip. And only if
you do have fancy trips.
I know.
Sometimes wives think, what are you doing, eating out all day? Because I'm just eating out twice a day.
No. Eating out is a tiring experience, number one. Number two, no, it's not glamorous when it's like go, drive, sit in crampy little plane with people yelling at you about your mask or lack of wearing one. Go to hotel, sleep in bed, slept in by 100 other people.
That's true. I actually really hate hotels.
And then like go to event, shuttle to there, speak, 2-3 talks, shuttle back to hotel, come back. So I will give you, though, I do feel bad when it's more luxurious trips. So I do feel like when we've done Catholic Answers, like the cruises before, I
can't even contact
I don't even want to call you. I don't even want to call you because I hear the kids screaming. And then I have the cheeseburger and slice of cake I ordered through room service because it's unlimited. And my DVD of Anchorman that I'm watching. And just like, I'm not even going to hide. I'm not even going to hide what I'm doing here. So we'll see if I end up on a cruise again. So that's why next time I'll take you and all the kids and it'll be even worse than you staying home.
I don't know how people do it. Yeah, we would for sure end up like throwing ourselves over the railing by the end.
Right. Then I see the ship turning around. Don't try to get me. Let's see here. What are your favorite and least favorite chores?
Actually, I really like chores. I'm not going to lie to you, except for I really hate laundry. My mom did laundry like us growing up, and she loved that chore. And then as an adult, I hate it. I just like throw everything in one load and like hope for the best. And sometimes my washer just like stalls, like I've done too big of a load. And I'm like, I know. We haven't had time for you to break down.
I know. I sometimes say like, I try to be like, I helped you. I'm like, oh, I did the laundry. You're like, you did the laundry?
No, he doesn't do the laundry. He transfers the laundry. He puts it in the dryer. The hardest part of doing the laundry is taking it out and folding it and putting it away.
But I do offer to fold it. And you're like, you didn't do the origami
You don't fold it. You throw it into piles still inside out. And you're like, could you help me with the socks? And I'm like, the socks are the hardest part. I super appreciate you.
Don't try to pat my puppy head.
Tim Gordon weeps.
See, if you have a question about how to do laundry, ask. No, I ask you. You're supposed to ask me. So, what was I going with? Why would I take kid underwear and fold it into 8 folds and put it in when they just
You don't have to, but you have to fold their socks. Otherwise, you have like a Batman sock with a buzz sock.
They don't care. They really don't. Do you think they care about
Thomas, your melancholic OCD child.
That's true. That's true. There is a seam loose in my sock.
Totally.
That is true. He does take after me. He is perfectionist in that respect. So, speaking of roles between men and women in traditionalism, do you and Trent attend the traditional Latin Mass?
What do you say?
I think the traditional Latin Mass is beautiful, but it's not a particular spirituality that I feel called to. But I understand people who particularly find a special kind of beauty in sacred silence and that tradition in the Western Church. So I think that's great. It's just not what I feel called to. But my favorite liturgy is the Divine Liturgy, and I think you like that a lot as well. So I don't know why am I punting? The question was for you.
Yeah, because I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
You're allowed. You can say whatever you want. I mean,
I struggle. The TLM Mass is so beautiful. The prayers are so beautiful. I struggle with my mind wandering during the traditional Latin Mass, and that is difficult for me. So I prefer something that's more active participation,
but not active in a cheesy way. So that's why I like Divine Liturgy.
That's true.
It's like Vatican II said, full active conscious participation. And at the Divine Liturgy, especially in the Ruthenian, the Byzantine Church, it's like we just sing the entire liturgy, together up from beginning to end. I'm like, this is awesome.
Processions and incense. It is really beautiful. So we do go to a church down the street that's a Novus Ordo, but it's a Novus Ordo done really beautifully also. So, during the week and things like that, we go there, and that's a really beautiful church also.
And we've been going there more on Sundays. So it's less common on Sunday. We'll be at Divine Liturgy.
Just because of the distance.
Yeah, it's far, too. That's the other thing. So it's like 40 minutes away from us. But we still go maybe like once a month on Sundays. I try once a week whenever they have Divine Liturgy during the week. It's at 7 o'clock. I take my oldest son, Matthew, to midweek, and that's super special because it's only like 7 people.
Yeah, they go to that in Wendy's. So
Oh yeah,
it is celestial.
It is exactly. That is a great word to describe
Yeah.
it. So yeah, that's how we would feel. I think we both would agree that the TLM, it's beautiful. It's not our particular spiritual calling. It's great if it is for other people.
But the prayers really are so pretty at the traditional Latin.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why I love the Byzantine church because they're just so intricate. All of the prayers that are uttered. But I love that when I can find a Novus Ordo that's done well, it's like, great, that's awesome. So, and that's, it's about building up that community where you are.
It is very difficult. Sorry, can I say one more thing? Sorry.
Sure.
It's also harder for me having 3 small young children. I know some, it's harder for me to keep them quiet in church for long periods of time.
Yeah.
So, and I know some people don't mind, the child chatter and stuff. I feel like I treat my kids differently though in situations like that, and that's unfair to them. So I just want them to, be active participants also and not just get yelled at all the time by me. So that's like a flaw of myself, not of the mass, obviously, but you can edit that out if you want.
I think we're past the point of editing anything out. We're blasting ahead. Here, let me actually skip ahead.
Okay.
What is your favorite of Trent's books?
Oh, my favorite Trent's books. Let's see. Probably I like political issues, so but that's not great. Like I realize that I probably shouldn't. So I really like your book on socialism.
Because you're like, oh, great, I can
read
this
book. But it should be something holier.
Yeah, but it's like you listen to Ben Shapiro all the time, so now it's me getting to Shapiro out a little. You're like, this is great. I always come home and I got to hear about something Ben said today.
I know. I wish that I would have read that book before I went to college because just my first year of college at NMSU, I studied political science. And I remember one time my sociologist professor saying like, and China isn't so bad and, their system. And so I wish that I would have read your book, to have some rejoinders to him during class. But so anyway, just like looking back and being like, oh, I wish I would have known now what I know, known then what I know now. So anyway, so that's like the most readable of your books. But as far as my favorite book, I'd say probably Hard Sayings. I actually really liked Hard Sayings.
My book on Bible difficulties.
Yeah, because I didn't read the Bible all the way through until I was an adult, and then I read it with that book, and that was really helpful.
Yay. There wasn't a jump cut here. We didn't edit anything out. Or maybe we did. What's your favorite thing about being a wife and a mom? Let's try it again. What's your favorite thing?
There are just so many things.
I can't.
Give me a thing!
Well, I don't know.
I would say, honestly, I just really like my children, and I really like you. I really like your temperaments, and I like your... I just love our life together. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, this is too good to be true.
Right.
So, yeah,
that's
it really
how I
is.
feel. It's
like
fun.
We were blessed with 3 very unique children, and they're all such a gift, and they all just vary so much. And like, it's just, I don't know, today Matthew, we had to go to the doctor, and he was just so polite, and he was like, maybe when my diphtheria is over. And then he looked at the doctor and he's like, I don't even know if I have diphtheria. And it was just so funny. And everybody was rolling. And it was just funny.
He's been playing too much Oregon Trail.
Right.
Mother, I'm going to die of cholera. We're driving out in the rain. Let's ford the river.
Yes.
No, we do have a beautiful life. Beautiful wife, beautiful life.
Yes, and I like the permanence. I like the permanence of being a wife and a mom. It's hard because it's like in a culture that quits everything, it's nice to know as a wife and a mom, you are like committed to something that matters the most. And so I like that it's locked in.
I like that too. I like that I can't escape. Look at these little shackles on here. Gosh. No, it's good because as a sanguine, you're prone to maybe just like
that's true.
Flake
More
out
of the flaky temperament, so it's nice that it's forever. So, yeah. So, what about you? What's your favorite thing about being a husband and a dad?
That I get to be a grown up now because
that's true.
If I wasn't married, like people would still be like, "You're so young. You're such a kid," and I don't know, like being able to say things. It's better than saying being able to say like, can my wife come with me to the conference?
That's true.
Like, can my girlfriend come with me to the conference? That's a John Mulaney joke, but I'm still going to steal it. But it just sounds, oh, this is my son. Now I'm like, I'm Mufasa.
It's
my
true.
son. This is
especially when you have 3. There's almost like street cred. Like the more children you have in a cart.
Where's that shadow, Dad? That is Dallas County. We do not go there.
Never go there.
We stay in Tarrant County. Except for your school, a few times a week. All right. Well, I'm almost out of room here on my little DSLR camera. It shuts off at 29 minutes. So look at that. We made it all through.
Nice.
Thank you guys for watching.
That was fun.
It was fun. Let's get all the kiddos in. That'll be
right now.
Well, no, but like soon. We'll take questions
John Paul's
for them.
more active.
Yes, that's a word for it. Thank you. I'll let you go night-night.
All right.
I'll stay up and work as per usual. And thank you guys for watching. If you
thank you for your support.
Yeah, if you want to submit more questions and take part in bonus stuff, definitely check out TrentHornPodcast.com. And we will see you guys later. Have a blessed day. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to help us produce more great content like this, be sure to click subscribe and go to TrentHornPodcast.com to become a premium subscriber. You'll help us create more videos like this and get access to bonus content and sneak peeks of our upcoming projects.